Hello, and welcome to Me, My Friends, and I, the podcast where unlicensed adults give unsolicited advice with your host and new friend, Brittany.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take a bow by end them, to die, to sleep perchance to dream. Ah, there's the rub. For in the sleep what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil. I don't know the rest of it.
Why do you know that so well? Did you go to school for acting?
In high school, yeah.
Or
You didn't know that?
you didn't go to school for acting in high school?
Yeah, I did. I majored in theater.
Oh, I'm sorry, girl.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
excuse you.
I'm trying to eliminate your hostess now.
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
right?
It's okay. We've begun.
Sorry, I didn't go to SUNY Purchase acting. I went to the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts. And you had to audition to get in.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was there a cut program?
They would judge
So no,
you.
they didn't have a cut. No, they didn't have a cut.
They would
Girl,
cut-
everybody was getting judged no matter what. What are you saying to me? We've begun, you know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, don't apologize.
Okay, I thought, yeah, okay.
Do you want to introduce yourself formally? Because you just gave us a performance, and I don't know if you
Was
know
to
that.
be or not to be in there?
That's what
Oh my goodness, that's so embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. Embarrassing for who? You know what I was gonna say?
What?
With about embarrassment is it is a choice. I saw this to my other friend. Don't worry, don't get jealous.
I'm jealous.
But I think that embarrassment might be a choice. I think there's I'll give you a second.
To think about it?
You need a minute.
No, I don't. I agree with you 100% that embarrassment is a choice. It's how you perceive things, if you're comfortable with yourself, you probably don't get embarrassed as much.
Yeah, tell me we're locked in without telling me we're locked in.
We're locked in.
We're locked in.
We're locked and loaded.
That's a vibe. Okay, look, no, but for real, we really did start. Thank you so much for being the first person to join on Me, My Friends, and I.
No problem.
Don't just fix your face.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I fed you, so I think you'll be all right just to kind of withstand about 30 minutes of this riff-raff. I'm gonna tell you right now, I can hear the candle in the background, and I'm gonna do my best.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get up and blow it out. Pause. But
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
So, could you let us know, remind us of what the theme of the month is for the podcast?
Why do I have to remind them and not you?
Oh my God.
Okay, I will remind them because it's my job, apparently. The theme of this month is how black, pitch black.
That's right. How black, pitch black.
Yes.
And so, as a reminder to everybody, I just kind of, for the month, we're going to have different themes, and I'm going to ask my people, my friends, to kind of speak on it. And it's up to interpretation. There are places that my mind went while I was considering what the theme would be. And I've just had to hold my tongue so hard.
I wonder if
So
our
hard.
minds went the same place.
I bet it did, but I'm going to give you a chance to go off.
Okay.
Where did your mind go?
My mind went directly to, I guess, the first part, how black, when, there's this thing in the black community where people question your blackness.
Go ahead.
And as someone who, doesn't like hot sauce, as someone who doesn't like watermelon, as someone...
Can we pause there for just a moment?
Yes, we can.
Okay, just for the record, so Kelly and I have known each other since,
1996.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Because you were grown by that time. So we met in college.
I was 5, by the way, in 1996.
We met in college, and shout out to SUNY Purchase.
SUNY Purchase!
Poor choice. We met in college, and where was I going?
how we met.
Yes. Okay. So how we met was at college, and we were like both resident assistants.
Yes.
So like we were the people that shut down the party, but like also attended the party.
We were both.
We were both. We multifaceted.
Oh, yes. We could quickly click off that switch in our mind of RA to, ooh, where's the punch at?
To shut this shit down. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. No, it's both.
It's both.
And.
Both.
So yes, Kelly and I met there. And early on, I began to realize that she had dislikes and likes. And so I'm about to bring it back to everybody. But
Okay.
when Kelly goes on about her blackness and not liking watermelon, boo, and not liking hot sauce, boo, not liking any of these things, I started taking notes back in, 1922 when we first met.
Yes.
And I have a list. I'm going to pull it up.
Why are you going to pull it up and embarrass me in front of the people? Once again, it's the mindset.
Okay.
It's the mindset.
Okay. It's called Kelly. Kelly doesn't like. That's what this is called.
How specific?
I feel like it was much longer than this, but I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Watermelon, not melon of any sort.
Doesn't taste like anything to me.
Seltzer water, rich people spit.
Ugh.
Hot sauce,
Just don't like it.
oranges,
Don't like it.
tomatoes,
Don't like them.
mushrooms,
Ugh.
coconut. Any flavored coconut. It's like glitter.
It's everywhere.
It's like whatever. That's
It's
whatever. Honorary mention: fish, filet-o-fish, avocados, fucking Cheez-Its, and mashed potatoes.
I like fish.
I don't know why you're trying to do this. We've been through this
Filet-o-fish? I've never had a filet-o-fish because it doesn't look appetizing.
Let's move on. You're obviously lying for the camera. So let's get back to it.
Okay.
Your blackness.
So I am a person who has always had a struggle with this because I've always been questioned about my blackness from an early age.
What does it look like to be questioned about your blackness?
What does it look like? It looks like people telling you you're not black enough, people telling you, oh, you don't act black.
Oh.
That's a white person, by the way, a white friend.
Stop.
Someone told me that I wanted to play soccer at some point, and I was telling my next door neighbor, and she was like, you would do something white like that. And now I'm like, black people play soccer. This whole team's of black people.
Mbappe.
There's so many people that play soccer.
So many people.
A whole continent of black people that play soccer.
Go off.
But that ended my soccer career. I didn't even start.
Okay. I don't think that's what did it.
That's what did it.
I understand completely. Yeah. I'm sorry for your loss. I will say that I'm part of the problem. I think we're actually all part of the problem. You're like, it was a white person that said that to me about not the blackness. We have black people also doing the same thing. Oh, yeah. I have done the same thing. Yeah. Like even in a joking way, but then I'm like, like when I start to like think back because the rabbit hole, I do that so often. And I'm like, yeah, I've also been a part of the problem where I'm sitting here being like, oh, that person's not black enough. Or am I not black enough? I remember growing up, I'm 22 now, so just a couple of years ago.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Let you. So even just a couple of years ago, I remember like growing up and being called Oreo.
Oreo is like the most insulting thing. It's America's favorite cookie, but it's so insulting to be called an Oreo.
Okay, I agree. And I mean, at this point, it's like water off my back kind of thing, like a duck's back kind of thing. But at the time, it bothered the shit out of me.
Oh, yes. I've been called Oreo, too.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'm also part of the problem. So I'll sit up here and be like, that's some white shit. And then I'm like, is it though? Like when people would say to me, oh, you speak a particular kind of way. You speak white. Yeah. What an insult.
Yes.
What an offense.
Just because you sound educated?
Damn.
That is back to slavery. Like,
am
I not? That I feel like it is because black people weren't allowed to be educated back then.
Okay.
And so I feel like I trapped myself in a corner.
It's okay. You could come out of it anytime you want to. Yeah, take a second.
We can go to college now.
We's got college.
We's got college now.
We's can learn now.
We's can learn ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Go off.
And I feel like it makes no sense to like tell someone, oh, you don't sound black. Well, what does black sound like?
You know what's funny is that you said, what does black sound like? And I heard it in my head.
What did you hear?
Swear to God, I heard it in my head. But I don't know. I can't do it because then it's going to send the wrong message.
That's true, yeah.
But I promise you, when you say to me, what does black sound like? I know what it sounds like. I can hear it. I just kind of refuse to offer that up as information for others to use.
That's true. I also get like an image or like a sound in my head of what black sounds like.
It's also... Go ahead.
It's very... I think it's an insulting to have that idea of what black sounds like in my head.
Insulting?
Because I feel like it's pigeonholing people.
I'm sorry, did you say pigeonhole?
You know I don't pronounce words right sometimes.
I was gonna let it pass.
I have a bump on my tongue, so my enunciations aren't good.
Cut them. Okay. This is not what I had signed up. It's not what I signed you up for. The whole idea is to be honest in these conversations.
Okay. But I do have a bump on my tongue.
Okay, Kellywood.
So my enunciations are not good right now.
Okay.
But pigeonholing it's stereotyping.
Yeah, but sometimes there are stereotypes for a reason.
I mean, all stereotypes come from somewhere, but it doesn't mean that they're accurate anymore.
Fine. But it does... I think I always get this wrong. When people say in and of itself, it's kind of like perpetuating itself. A stereotype.
Yeah.
So like while certain folks are like, oh, let's like change the narrative. Let's course correct. Let's, kind of change the meaning or value behind a particular word or whatever. Mm-hmm. I agree with it, but I'm like, at the same time, it's a stereotype for a reason. Like some of these things that we kind of have been, not reprimanded, but like we've been treated differently for some of the ways that we decide to show up in the world.
Yeah.
And while certain folks will not I don't want to say punish, but they'll be unkind to a certain group because of it. Those are also some of the same things that help us be prideful and excited about our existence.
Yeah.
So while some person might mock what a black person sounds like, we also adopt that, we use that, and we then riff like shit. And it makes us feel good. It makes us feel relatable. We feel more connected with each other. If we feel like we can trust each other more. Like I know I'm going down an alley with that, but like it's accurate. People like what they can relate to. It makes them feel safe. Yeah. It makes them feel comfortable.
That is true.
So,
I'm part of a group at work called CORE, which is about like anti-racism. I got roped into it because one of the writers at my job, grant writers, rope was probably not the good word, but she's like the head of it. And so she like invited me to a meeting early on. It was like a cult, basically. I got roped in and I'm stuck. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the work. But I'm writing an article for them this month for Black History Month. And one of the
casual plug. You're so annoying. I'm going to Milan and then I'm writing a casual article.
And then my diamonds fell off my wrist. But I'm writing an article about something about Black History Month. Why it's important. Because, now in the day and age of people trying to get rid of DEI and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was reading an article that was talking about how I feel like I put myself into the corner because now I'm going to remember it wrong.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be right.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be accurate. We're just trying our best.
Okay. How Black people are like representation matters because if we don't see ourselves in media are being presented in different ways, we don't feel secure. We don't feel like safe in the world that we don't see people.
Doesn't recognize us, yeah.
It doesn't recognize us. So we kind of, you know what? I don't even know what I was talking about, but I was trying to, because you said something about feeling comfortable.
Yeah, with how you choose to speak and kind of show up.
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, I'm probably not gonna go on the whole like DEI train. I'm not gonna go on that yet. This is just like, you know, the first, you know, interview kind of situation. Yeah. But I will say that just on the part about making sure that we're represented or feeling seen, as you know, I'm a classically trained actor.
Of course.
And I just remember, I mean, I've always known that I've wanted to perform from a very long time ago. So I'm 19 now. So it was just a few years ago that was the case.
Of course.
And when I was a wee babe, I remember seeing, this is going to be wild. I remember seeing Dakota Fanning on TV. And I was like, that little girl. And I'm like, I'm a little girl. Like, I could do that too, kind of thing. And I thought to myself, oh, shucks, that's so great. But then I don't know what it was. And I think it has a little bit to do with what you're saying. But I didn't see a lot of little black girls on the TV.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, a little bit older, I started to realize commercials. I was always just I started to get angry maybe. And I was like, why is there no one that looks like me and my family?
Yeah.
Like, why am I always looking at them like that thing that they're selling? It's always some like happy, non-black family.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, very interesting. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I was really analyzing and all that stuff at that point in time. But I could feel that there was something off. I was confused because I was, you know, I was homeschooled at a certain point. Shout out to the homeschoolers, okay? Don't do that.
Shout out to Windsor Public School system.
That's different. It's different.
I know.
You can't sit with us. So I just remembered that whole thing. And then I also remember like being in, you know, public schools where I was around a lot of black people and then also some white people. But I'm thinking to myself, the world that I'm walking around in, I see X, Y, Z. But why is it that when I look on this little box or this, you know, big box, middle box, whatever, I'm not seeing the same thing? Like, why isn't it not a reflection?
Yeah.
And that I just remember just not ever feeling comfortable about. And obviously now it's 2025, and so you see a better mix of what it was.
Yeah.
But would you say that there's a better representation of what the demographic of this country looks like on television or within media? And I know so much of this is private, but like,
what's so funny is that when we were younger, I mean, I'm 15 right now. When we were younger, TV, we had commercials and commercial breaks. Now you can skip the commercials.
Girl.
So I'm thinking about the actual shows that I watch.
Let's pause there.
Okay.
You can't just skip all the commercials. You can't just skip all of them. If you're on streaming on certain things, you're definitely skipping. If you're on YouTube, skip ad. You know the thing?
That is true. I'm skipping ads.
They're skipping. You know, they're getting so invasive.
Yeah.
They said, how was that advertisement? Did you like it? They ask that now, you know.
They do ask that.
How invasive is that?
And I skip that question.
Yes, you can skip the question. But I'm just like, yo, because they're kind of saying, hey, listen, you're going to get these advertisements. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
You're going to get them. Which one do you want?
Which is nice of them to think about us.
Ew. Ew, Kellywood. Ew, don't.
If it's going to be bad, it might as well be of benefit to you somehow.
So that I can rope myself into buying something?
Okay.
No, thank you. I forgot where I interrupted you at, but you can figure it out.
It's okay. I was talking about commercials, but representation.
First of all, fix your tone. First of all, fix your tone. And fix your neck. Don't do that.
I feel like representation has come a long way from when we were younger. Because thinking about when they used to have the Nelson ratings and the top shows, I don't know if they still have that.
What's a Nelson rating? I wasn't probably born yet, so I don't know.
Nelson ratings were like the listing of the top shows. Like they used to give, I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but certain households used to get boxes to see what they watched. And out of those boxes, they would sort of have the top shows like Friends is number one, Seinfeld
Wait,
number
for
two.
that household?
No, they have enough throughout the U.S. that they would guesstimate what is the popular show that people are watching.
Oh, wait, like ratings. Like this
Yeah,
is
like
the
ratings.
idea of ratings. Like they would be able to track
Yeah.
what percentage of the country is looking at what.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, tuning in that video. Okay.
And thinking about that, the top shows are always not black people. It was always like, if you look at the top shows of NBC, CBS, ABC, it's always centered around white people. I don't mean to call out white people on purpose, but
Yes, you do. That's literally what you're saying.
But, you know, it's true. I didn't see a lot. And what I did see of black people was always like slavery, overcoming
Can we
racism.
talk about it? Because when I tell you right now,
I don't need to see another slave movie.
if I see one more dirty shirt, dirty feet, mud in the feet, if I see one more sweaty, unkept, if I see one more, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I was gonna end that. But I don't want to see it
I don't
anymore.
want to see that. I don't want to see, because there's so much more to the black experience than suffering.
Go off. Can you please say that again? Not for the people in the back. Just say it again.
Just for the people. There's so much more to the black experience than suffering.
But you want to know, but this is what's sad is that we've kind of, we getting good here. What's kind of sad is that we've kind of, someone, somewhere along the way, maybe it's even us, we've kind of trained ourselves to believe that we have to remember. Well, this is a fact. We have to remember where we came from, remember our past. But if your past is primarily filled with trauma, it's not necessarily something you want to remember all the time. Like, and also, I refuse to believe that there aren't beautiful, positive things. And I'm not saying they don't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just ignorant, which I definitely am. You're ignorant too. A lot of us just don't
Of
know
course.
enough. But it makes it hard to be proud. And I don't mean in the simple sense. I mean, like, I think you have to be informed to then be proud. And if you're not informed, bro, how am I supposed to be proud?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I'm here for what you're saying on just the representation has just been like slave movie after slave movie after slave movie. And I'm like,
Or like a white woman coming to an inner city school, teaching them writing, freedom writers. Like, I don't need to see it anymore. I don't need to see it. There's so much more creativity. There's so much more romance. There's so much more, like Titanic. Mm-hmm. Never mind.
Wait,
I was
what?
gonna ask.
Oh my God. What?
I was gonna ask why Jack and Rose couldn't have been black, but then I thought about it. I was like, oh, it's a time period.
I was about to say, girl, they would not have been on. They would have been in a different part of the boat. They would have been in a different part in the boat.
That's true. But I see things and I'm like, I know on the call sheet it was like, or on the audition sheet it was like white male, white female.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was no reason for that.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was a reason for that.
Not always.
There was a reason for that.
Forget about Titanic.
I mean, think about it. Like,
Okay.
I don't want to be like, it was the luck of the draw. But, like, I sometimes think, man, would we have done it too? Would we have done it too? If we were the group, if we were the race, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Would we have done it too? What separates us is really just a color of skin or a level of melanation. We're gonna go for it.
Right. See? Saying words isn't hard all the time.
First of all, that's not even a real word, so I couldn't do that. So I just think I think about this sometimes. I'm like, damn, is it just a matter of like whether or not like it was, like I said, luck of the draw? Like, I'm like, if the black people were the white people and the white people were actually black people, would we have just done the same thing? Like, let's get these slaves. They're all white.
I like to think we wouldn't have, but honestly,
We would have.
probably.
We would have. We probably would have. It's a tough, yeah.
I want to know who invented slavery. Like, who in the olden times was like, back in Egypt was like, you build this pyramid. Like, I want to know. I'm sure there's some sort of research to go back to see, not exactly who, but like, where did it start?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, everyone kind of... So, look, on one side, I'm like, somebody raised from... Like, somebody, like, you know, kind of arose from the crowd, like, deeming themselves to be better than... Superior,
yeah.
exactly. And then a part of me kind of feels like it's just biological, or, like, is that the word? Evolutionary, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a little bit of that as well, like, very, like, mammal, like... not predator, but like asserting dominance, like being the...
Very human.
Well, that's just not human, but it's also very animal,
That's true, yeah.
right? So like you got lions and stuff, and they're like, oh, let's fight it out. Like, I'm the stronger thing. Like, I'm the stronger animal, so I'm going to go and I'm going to fight it out and like win my prize or win my mate or whatever it needs to be. But I mean, my uneducated guess is going to go for, yeah, it's just actually kind of, it's like animal of us.
That is true.
Like the strongest survive kind of deal.
I had a middle school teacher, Miss McCormick, who said that
Like the spice. Was her family in? You don't cook, so you don't really know about that. Keep on going. It's okay, girl. It's okay, girl.
So this is the end of the podcast?
It's
No. So she said that if you got a group of people all in a room, same race, same height, same everything, they would still find a reason to divide each other.
Where'd she get that from?
Oh, I don't even know.
It's probably PBS or something.
Probably PBS.
It's giving Reading Rainbow, like, after dark.
That is true.
Yeah, like, can you imagine if there was a Reading Rainbow after dark? Like,
That would be
Reading
great.
Rainbow, I wasn't that very much like, Reading Rainbow, right? And it was like, butterfly in the sky, all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then it was like very kind and sweet. I don't
Very kind
remember
and
the
sweet.
show fully, but then what if they had like an after dark where it was just like, all the themes that you learned about during the day, but like the dark side, like what actually happens to butterflies if they're out in the world too long, like that kind of thing.
Oh.
I think there's a market. People are dark these days.
People are dark.
They're very, very dark.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're actually coming back on theme again.
Pitch black.
Pitch black. How black? Pitch black.
Pitch black.
We're coming up on time, I think. But I want to get into like the more literal sense of the pitch black. Thank you for taking us on that entire loop. And
No
stuff.
problem. I hope it made sense.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It did. No, of course it made sense. Everything you say makes sense all the time. Did you know that?
I don't think that's true for me.
That's okay.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
So with the whole pitch black, in the literal sense,
Yeah.
I too, I'm not gonna lie. When I first brought it up, I too thought like, how black, pitch black, like black people. Mm-hmm. And I started to think about just like I tried my best not to go in the obvious direction. So I'm gonna probably save that for like just another conversation.
Okay.
But I do want to get into just pitch blackness, in color, in feeling, in space. And I want to give a shout out to all the people that are still afraid of the dark. That's a thing.
That is a thing.
That's a thing. And that's a thing that I actually still struggle with.
I was terrified of the dark as a child.
So that was like
terrified.
a couple years ago.
Like 5 years ago, I was
Yeah.
terrified of the dark.
Absolutely.
I used to leave the hallway light on. My parents would shut it off.
Turn off the...
Abusive.
You paid a bill? Definitely not.
I couldn't stay in the dark. It was because my imagination would run wild.
So that's like that's the bigger conversation here, is
Yeah.
because we are gifted.
We are gifted.
We are gifted, and I can see things that aren't there. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yes. But what's funny is I saw a documentary on the History Channel. Shout out History Channel. About darkness. About like places on the earth where it's pitch black at night where you can't see anything. It's probably somewhere in Africa. But just, think about it. There's not, and the, like, rural Africa, there's not, like, street lights and things like that.
Yeah, but you're from the suburbs-ish, right? Like, don't you know that some of the brightest times can be at night when all the stars are out? You know that, right?
So I have to do research and find out what place that was.
Don't do any research.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do research.
I'm pretty sure it was in Africa, though.
Okay, fine. So you're saying this History Channel was just talking about like some of the darkest places.
It was just talking about like sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but like where people's fear of the darkness came from, like how instinctual that is from like our ancestors.
Keep going.
Like we didn't have lights back in the day of cavemen and whatever, and the dark. There were things in the dark that we couldn't see, like tigers, lions, bears. Oh my.
Okay, Jasmine Sullivan. I'm not scared.
But the dark we think is the unknown, which is dangerous.
So we've all been struggling with this goddamn unknown fear thing since the dawn. Or dusk.
It's
like dawn and what's dusk?
Dusk is dawn. Dusk is nightfall.
Yes, the dusk of time.
Yeah.
We've been struggling with this.
It's like generational trauma passed down, just like slavery.
Yeah. So, unpopular opinion. You know what? It's not unpopular. I just wanted to learn more about that. Like, I believe in science. I really do. I also believe in, like, other things. I believe in lots of things.
Yeah.
I believe in you. You know what I'm saying?
I believe in you, too.
Thank you.
You believe in Jesus?
Let's move on.
Okay.
So, so like, look, you knocked me off.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know the mind.
I'm sorry.
The mind.
Okay. Focus.
Where was I going?
You were talking about you want to learn more about where this comes from. The fear of darkness.
Yeah, the fear of darkness. I hope that's where I was going with it.
I think so.
I hope so. But like, I will say that is something that even to this day, even very much to this day, I'm 19 years old now. And I mean, because of the city that we live in, it's still quite bright outside, even when I like shut everything off.
Yeah.
And I have to say that is the nicest thing. It is the nicest nightlight. It is the nicest nightlight. But I do wish, I'm going to have to work with my therapist on this. I'm going to add it to the freaking list. But like, it would be nice to like go places and not feel disheveled by being surrounded by darkness. Like if I ever go like camping, that's like something I, want to fix your face.
I'm sorry.
Fix your face.
I don't understand camping at all though, but continue.
Is that a white person thing?
No, I wasn't even going to say that. I don't understand it. Like, we've built houses. We don't have to
Isn't it funny
live
how
in the
we
woods
like
anymore.
Venture there to get back to our roots.
Like,
to just no, but I like nature though. I do like nature.
Okay.
I do, but what I don't like is, so for some reason I like the sound of like my cat like chomping on like trash or something like that. But I don't like the sound of like some animal chomping on something.
if you fed her, she wouldn't chomp on trash.
See, now this is why. This is why we shouldn't have brought up my pet.
Yes.
No one's gonna accuse me of this one being unfed. No one's gonna ASPCA back up. You're not gonna come for me. You're not gonna come for me.
Oh, those commercials always get me. They always get me. I want to adopt all of them. Then I think about that vet bill, and I'm like, not in this budget, not in this economy.
We're gonna have to start to ration things out. Couple kibbles and bits for you. Couple kibbles and bits for me. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Did you know that pets can have insurance now?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I absolutely do.
I think
not
my
like
job
this
offers
idea.
it.
Oh, that's nice.
With you, like not like for free. You can buy into it.
Of course, it's not for free. But I will say to you, it's one of the scammiest scams. It only works if you use it. This whole idea of insurance, like
yeah, that's insurance.
It only works if you use it, though.
Yeah, that's insurance.
Because like, think about it. If you're I'm not gonna even say that word, but like, if you're just a person that hasn't needed to use your health insurance, it's kind of like you're wasting your money. But then again, you are paying for literally insurance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's like my life insurance. I'm paying into it.
you pay for you do life insurance?
I do life insurance on top of the life insurance I got for my job.
Why?
Long story short, I was laid off once, and my parents were like, get life insurance just in case.
Shout out to Kelly's parents. They're so cute. They really are.
And so I pay...
Got the senior?
With the senior?
With the senior.
Can I get the breakfast sandwich with the senior? And the code is...
So this is a thing that Kelly's father does.
He loves whipping out that senior discount now that he's of age.
When did he reach, like, we don't got to give up his age, but like, when did he become of age?
What is the age? I don't know.
I
want to say it's like at least...
He better be of age. She better be of age.
You know what's funny? People probably wouldn't even...
They wouldn't
question it.
They wouldn't question it.
That's so interesting.
Because first of all, black don't crack.
That is true.
And that's a lie. And you just walked into it. It was a trap. You walked into the trap. Because when I tell you black cracks, and we have to stop saying otherwise.
If you're on crack.
No, don't say that.
I'm sorry. But you're right.
Black freaking cracks. And I need us to stop saying that it doesn't. Because it does.
Okay.
And I think we're getting carried away. I think we're getting carried away because black will definitely crack, especially in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
if you don't put lotion on.
That part. And even still, like, aside from, like, external, like, things that we're slabbing on our skin, what are you putting in your body? It matters.
It does matter.
And I hate to be like, oh, you look good for your age. Like, granted, I'm 22 and I look like I'm 12. That's one thing. Not everybody experiences that.
You do look good for your age.
But I don't even like saying that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't even like saying that because, like, what is looking good for your age? Granted, we, like, on a time span, we've seen what a particular, age group can look like.
That is true.
We've seen it. But I think what we are deeming to be, like, a good look for a particular age now, it's not accurate. Not with all these procedures going on, not with all these just external things going on, like, not with access and then lack of access, like, no, you just can't actually trust what you're seeing. So to be like, oh, you look good for your age, I just think it perpetuates this idea that it's not okay to get older, which, a newsflash, like, thank goodness you're getting older. You should be happy you're getting older, especially if, like, you're, grateful or happy for your life or...
Yeah.
Or happy to be where you are.
I concur. That's a nice way to think about it.
Well, stop. Don't know. Stop. Listen, we're going on. We're going on now. But how black? Pitch black.
Pitch black.
Yeah.
I sleep with the lights off now. It took me a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I think also we live in a city, so there is a billboard outside of my window that shines in.
That's your nightlight.
So I think I'm still scared of the...
You might just be, girl.
Pitch black, I don't think I could do.
Yeah. It's just so amazing what the imagination can do. We could talk about this forever, but I do want to kind of wrap up.
Okay.
And, obviously we talked about what we talked about, but in building a little manifesto, maybe what's one thing that you would leave us with going forward that we could add for the peoples?
Like inspirational? Or?
Girl, it does not have to be inspirational. But if it was just like, I don't want to be like, ooh, the 10 commandments. But if we had like 1,000 commandments that we're building right now, like what would be one that you would offer?
Don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yeah. In light of everything we talked about.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. And I would say, to put it in like the positive, be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Because you'll find your people.
You absolutely will. Damn, you really built that one up. It's very subtle and yet very powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye.